Good morning. Watched episode 2 of Alone, season 8. Watched it last night. Not a lot memorable in it. I mean, it was a good episode, don't get me wrong. But really nothing really stood out. No mention of the two ladies. You know, as you know, there's 10 contestants. And they kind of do a groups of them as they go along. And this one didn't have the ladies in it. This one had quite a bit about the guy with the stick in his nose. I believe he's called Chico. I'm not positive, or Kiko or something. I'm not positive about that. But at any rate, they kind of showed him. Props to him. He's got a shelter going on now, and it actually looks like a good one. If I remember correctly, he's doing it on in logs. So he's got a good structure going on. I tell you, I'm going to say, and as I go on, I'll make my point, is that I think he's an underdog. I think I was a little quick on the judgment to him. I think he's made less than great decisions, but maybe he's really does got a plan going on. This episode, apparently he had tried to walk around the Bayish area or tried to get somewhere, and he said that there was too much deadfall. He couldn't get around. He foraged behind him. And he's not coming up with a lot of opportunities for food, lots of berries and stuff, but he said he's got to find food. And that's what I said at the beginning. I said, you know, water, shelter, food. Well, apparently he's got the shelter going on, so now he's realized food. And then he made a statement in it that he was going to do something. He said, well, that's the way it is. He says, apparently I haven't lost enough weight. I don't need food. So I'm hoping that he's being funny, because I gotta say that that's really not a good approach. When you start burning off all your fat, then you lose the nutrients and your mind starts to go. I recall that episode a few years ago where the guy had like 30 days worth of fish in his room with him. He was just a fishing fiend, and he had this, and in his mind he's figured it all out. And they pulled him because he lost too much weight. So they pulled him out with 30 days of fish inside his shelter. So I'm telling this guy, you know, even if you got a ton of food, it's all up in the head. You know, I hear what he's saying, but again, he's just, some of these decisions it's really questionable. And in fact, in this one, he decided, well, I can't find nothing around here. I'll just swim across the bay and see what's over there. And he says, I'm a good swimmer. Well, I guess, really? All right. So he does. Freezing cold water, he hops in there, he swims to the other side, and there's nothing over there. It's like, in his head, he said maybe there's a field or a meadow behind her or something. It's like, all right, you know, all the rest of it's mountain, all the rest of it's deadfall and all that. But yeah, that one spot you chose on a half-a-mile swim across a frozen lake, that's the one. So anyways, so props to him. He made it. He swam back. He made it. Burning some serious calories in doing so. Again, not the best decision. And this old biker's opinion is that, wow, I don't know, you know. So he said, well, I'll survive on berries and that. And he went on. He had foraged and he had himself a little stew. So, okay. And there's another guy. He's really got it together. He's a cabin guy, or one of the cabin guys. He had foraged and found a bunch of berries. Well, then he decided he was going to make a form of a refrigerator to save it. And I thought, okay. So he got some wood, dug a hole, stuck it down underground, lined it with wood, and then he got some moss and put it down in there. And then he got all these berries, and he put them in there, and then he covered it. Now, let me ask you something, see if you remember like I do. There was a season a few years ago, somebody got all these berries and he hid them in their shelter and he covered them up, and then come the day and he opened it up and they all molded. They all molded. He lost all of them. All those berries he could have eaten before were now all gone because they got moldy. And that's what I'm curious, is this guy that buried in the hole, really? I mean, he had a good handful. And he's going to try and keep them. And okay, all right, you know, I guess. But I'm thinking it's going to mold. I really do. I don't know. And he buried it maybe a foot underground, maybe. And remember, bears smell. They love berries, and they can really smell. And I think one swipe of a paw and those berries are toast. So I hope it works. I really do. That was an interesting thing that he did, and I hope it works. I hope his memory is good enough as it goes down to remembers where he buried the hole. I know that me, I'd be in an hour, I'd be like, I think it was it over here or was it back? I'd be lost. The berries would be growing into trees by the time I found them. So I think that, and then one of the other guys, he had a bow, and he left it in the shed, or his shelter, I should say. And he went out doing his business, and when he come back, a mouse had ate the string. Oh, he was sick. And I props to him. He didn't throw a fit, because I'd have thrown a fit. And I would be eating mouse for lunch that day. I ain't kidding you. And if he doesn't trap that little joker, do a deadfall on it or something, he's going to have trouble. But he did manage to fix the string. And I got to tell you, I don't know how he did it. I really don't, because it had chewed down a bit into the string. So I don't know what knot he tied, but man, it held up. He fixed it, and it shows him he's trying it out, and it works. I'm betting that he puts the bow up high, that little joker mouse doesn't chew on it the next time. So overall, a great episode. I say great. It was a good episode. It was interesting. Not as good as the first one, the lady digging a hole. I mean, I really want to watch her, and I really think she's got a lot to show. Aside from that, everybody's gone. Nobody tapped this one, that's interesting. So we're getting down. I think the initial guy, props to Chico. He's still hanging in there. I didn't pay attention to how long he's lasted so far, but I'm going to call him the underdog. I think he's got a little bit going on. I got to question some of his decisions, but he's out there and I'm back here. He's freezing cold, and I'm going to sit here in my workshop and fix Tonkas today. Anyways, that's all I got for today. And if I don't see you later, I'll catch you later.